American poet Maya Angelou once said, "There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you." The written word is still one of the most powerful means of receiving information, whether it is through articles, newspapers, historical documents, or personal diaries of long-lost relatives. Writing is my major. It is my career path, and for the past year and a half has acted as my coping mechanism. When I write a paper, a story, or even when I comment on a YouTube video, I take care every word I illustrate from mind to page that I might craft a message worthy of my pen. Greetings, everyone. My name is Michael Littlejohn, and I'm a sophomore at Pearl River Community College. And today, I would like to leave with you the process, the history, and the potential benefits of habitual writing. To begin with, what is the process of habitual writing? Well, habitual writing typically takes one of two forms. Either maintaining a diary or journal or some form of creative writing. While the words diary and journal have often been used interchangeably, there are some distinct differences. A diary records the events of the day and often details personal information, which is seldomly shared with others. A journal expands upon events as they unfold and often provides the thought process of the writer at the time of the journal entry. As a byproduct, diaries typically don't hold as much information as journals. Creative writing, on the other hand, takes many different forms, none of which are particularly similar. From novels to short stories, lyrical writing, poetry, songwriting, film script are all forms of creative writing that utilizes imagination when telling a story. Because of the use of imagination, creative writing has often contrasted with analytical and academic writing. So where did this begin? What is some of the history of habitual writing? Well, according to an article by badgesforall.org, the first diaries were used for accounting and public record. The earliest known autobiographical diary was written in 1660 by Samuel Pepys, in which he recorded several events, one being the Great Fire of 1666. As the centuries changed, so did the form that journals and diaries took. In the 17th century, early world travelers logged their adventures in journals, like the works of Lewis and Clark and Darwin. Later in the 17th century, prominent writers like Tolstoy began utilizing diaries in the creative process of their works. In the 18th and 19th century, we saw the emergence of war journals, and today journals have taken the form of blogs, vlogs, and digital diaries. For creative writing, the earliest known novel, according to taleofgenji.org, is The Tale of Genji, a story written in the year 1000 during Japan's Heian era, when the capital was located in Heian-kyo, which is now modern-day Kyoto. It is a novel about the fall and rise of Genji, son of the emperor, his rejection from the royal court, his abandonment by his father, his exile from his homeland, and his eventual return, not only to his homeland, but to the royal court and to prosperity. So, what are some of the potential benefits of habitual writing? Or rather, does habitual writing have any benefits? Well, according to an article by the American Psychological Association, Writing to Heal, they cite a study that was actually mentioned in the Journal of the American Medical Association, a research study which was led by Dr. Joshua Smith of Syracuse University, where Dr. Smith took 107 asthma and rheumatoid arthritis patients and had them write for 20 minutes for 3 consecutive days. 71 of the 107 wrote about the most stressful events in their lives, while the rest wrote about their daily plans. The results of the research showed that the patients in the stress writing groups displayed improvement in clinical evaluations compared to those in the neutral writing exercises. Another research study mentioned in the very same journal, which was led by Dr. James Pennebaker from the University of Texas in Austin, where Dr. Pennebaker, along with several others, recreated the study using HIV patients, in which they took 37 patients and had them write during 4 sessions, either about their most adverse life experiences or their daily routines. Both studies indicated a boost in immune function, resulting in healthier individuals as a direct cause of the writing exercises. In other words, writing can potentially provide physical and mental health benefits. It is also suggests that it can improve memory and cognitive ability. Now, with that said, there has been some speculation as to the validity of the results. According to Dr. Helen Marlowe, writing about traumatic events can cause physical and emotional arousal, which could potentially lead people to being unable to work through these traumatic experiences. As a result, both effects should be taken into consideration and will probably vary from person to person. In conclusion, habitual writing is the process of either keeping a journal or writing creatively on a regular basis. Journals and diaries have drastically changed form since their earliest renditions. Unlike journals and diaries, however, creative writing has had a much longer history, with the earliest known novel coming out of Japan during 1000 AD. Several studies conducted provide some evidence of the physical and mental health benefits of habitual writing, though not without some skepticism, which has discovered the potential adverse effects of dwelling on traumatic events. And as such, both viewpoints should be considered very carefully and will probably vary from person to person. But I ask you, do you have a story worth telling? And if you do, remember the words of Maya Angelou: "There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you." Thank you.